Hey LubeTech family, Tyler here from the community and wellbeing team, coming at you with another midday motivation. I'm really excited. I'm here with Jeremiah Siebo. So he's from our 9200 production team. Awesome guy, great leader. He's been with LubeTech since 2018, you said? 2018.
Yes.
Awesome. And you've been in the US for almost 8 years?
8 years.
8 years?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So with LubeTech since 2018, and you've got 5 kids now?
Yeah, 5 kids.
5 kids.
Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy. You're way too young to have 5 kids.
Right?
How old are your kids?
Yeah, my big son is 11, 12 years old, just 12 years old.
12 years old.
And I have 7, and I have 5, and I have 2, and I have a baby.
And a baby. Oh my gosh, man.
Yeah,
you got a crazy home, don't you?
I
I thought I was busy with 4, man, but you just went and one up me with that baby on the way.
Oh, yeah.
Are you sleeping at all?
Oh, sometimes it's not easy though. But
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So then before you came obviously to LubeTech and before you came to the US, you were a social worker in Liberia, right?
Yes, social
What
worker.
was life like as a social worker in Liberia?
Yeah, life as a social worker, it was nice and good to me because it's like I have a passion for people like humility.
Yeah.
And back home there, we have a lot of people, a lot of crisis in Liberia, to be exact. And people have, during our crisis and thing, people lost their family and people lost a lot of things. And on that side, it's like you see people that have money rule over the people that don't have money. It's not like the law penetrates the people. So on that side, people have crisis, like they don't have a home, they don't have things going on. Their daughters and like 10 years old, 15 years old being raped. So I have passion in that, like talk to people, and I have some of my team there. So we receive some calls and things. It's hard sometimes, like communication, like the transportation, because we're in down there, you have a lot of BB area, have to go from county to counties, and sometimes you walk in the water to cross the ocean and all those things. Yeah.
Man, wow.
Yeah.
Gosh, that's wild. And so you obviously you have a passion for people.
Yeah.
Which is so cool, and I think that's one of the things I even love about this space right here, is that we get to talk to our teammates, our LubeTech families and stuff like that, and you get to use that passion for people to encourage them. And so I want to talk a little bit about, you mentioned that as a social worker, you spent a lot of time responding to crisis. So suicide calls, domestic abuse calls, drug overdose calls, things like that. I mean, all kinds and all types of crisis. So in that, you had a little bit of a process for how you responded to crisis. And so you've helped me a little bit, you coached me a little bit. So I'm going to read them for our team, but then I want you to share a little bit about those things. So number 1, your first step is making sure everyone's safe. Right. Number 2 is getting to know the situation. Number 3 is assuring them that everything's okay, that we're gonna get through it. Asking really good questions is number 4. Shifting their focus off the problem and maybe onto the solution. And then finally, number 6, just giving them a simple kind of achievable step. The interesting part is that I read this, I'm like, I have to try and do this every day with my kids, right? So you're like already trained. You're like a trained social worker, and you get to bring that to your kids. So this is something that it's not just for, a suicide call, domestic abuse call, but this is responding to all types of crisis in our life. So talk to me a little bit about making sure everyone's safe. So you get a call or you're responding to a crisis. The number 1 thing you do is making sure everyone's safe.
Yeah. So normally back home we have some calls that, like for instance, like somebody want to kill themselves because, like in Africa, like they don't have food to eat, they don't have everything, and a man who in the home he have like 7, 8 kids and nothing happen. So you go everywhere, you don't have food to eat in a day, like 1 week, 2 weeks, no food to eat. So it's like you say for a while now living in this warfare. So a lot of people they committed suicide. So when we receive a call, for instance, when we receive a first call, we make sure that people be safe around the place. So the question we ask them is how the situation look like. The person that called that the person that called that person. So I ask them, what is the situation now on ground? So and how things look like, and how the person killing themselves. Some people like hang themselves up. So just keep talking to the person, communicating with the person, and make sure you don't have a nerve with him. You don't have everything, and if people are
getting to know the environment and the surroundings and everything like that. That's such a good first step. And so, so you're making sure everyone's safe. You're getting to know the surroundings. Number 2, getting to know the situation. 3, assuring them. What are the kinds of things that you say? And not just to someone maybe on a suicide call, but if you've got a friend, you got a coworker maybe that's in a crisis. How do you assure and encourage people?
That for instance, like while I lay in America, like sometimes like for the last time, I think the first time I came, I went to California and I met somebody and the person said, well, a lot of people booted them like they are nothing, and they face like this, they face like that. So they feel that they don't have love, They don't have love. So when I walked to the lady and I told her, I said, oh, you're so great, you're so special, and then she started crying. So I said, what are you crying? She said, oh, I feel like my family abandoned me, and I feel that I don't have no hope. So things like that pertaining to my country back home. There's some people, they feel like they're nothing in the community. So they begin to be depressed and they decide to kill themselves. So what I do, when the person call, I have to be on the phone with them. Like for instance, when they're doing something like they want something financially, I say, don't worry, everything will be fine. We will make sure that you have this, you have that, and we'll make sure that we take care of your family. You have to be on the phone with them, and you have to take the mind out of the situation. Wow. I mean, I think the thing that you said that I really captured onto is a lot of people feel like they don't have that love. They don't have encouragement. And man, sometimes we can walk around like that all day, right? So that's good no matter what situation you're in, whether you're out here out here in the warehouse, or you're out with customers, like wherever we are in our homes, like we know how much encouragement and support, we know that goes a long way. So the fourth part is asking good questions. So talk to me about being able to identify the tension, or what's the reason or the cause for what they're feeling in some way. So for example, when the first thing, like on this side, when you calling 911, if 911 will tell you, the police will tell you, say, be on the phone, make sure things is okay, make sure this is why is the situation, what is this? It's the same way in the health fee. When a resident fall, you got to make the resident to be on the floor. You take the blood pressure and everything and call the nurse that in charge, and they will tell you, say, keep the person on the floor, make sure everything is safe around the person, and they will begin to ask questions. So in my situation on that side, I ask a lot of questions, why the person doing this, and why make this person to do this, and how can we help? So the person will say, okay, I can be on the phone. So I say, be on the phone with the person, just keep looking at them, make sure that, and on the other side too, make sure that you are safe. Because when make sure that you're safe. So that I ask a lot of questions. So the question you ask, they have to be in place based on the situation out on the ground.
Gotcha. So you're asking them a lot of really simple questions. Like, are you safe? Is anything bothering you right now? How are you feeling?
How can we work together?
How can we partner together? How can we work? I like that. And that's so good. I mean, thinking about crisis or issues that we face in our workday or something, to be able to come and ask a question like, how can I help with this, or how can we solve this, rather than like pointing out the problem or something like that. So if someone's on the floor and you're just saying, that's wrong, you can't do that, don't do that, you just make them more panicked.
It's the same way with the job. So when you're on the job and your supervisor see like you are delinquent in coming to work on time, or say, call your worker and say, well, how can we work together? You negotiate with him and say, it's like you don't want to speak, but how can we work?
Man, that's a big one. How can we work together?
Yeah,
How can we help each other?
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
So then the last two, well, the fifth point is shifting their focus.
Yeah.
And so I think that's a little bit of what you're doing when you're asking those questions.
Yes, make them to know that, because it's like when you keep talking on the problem,
Mm-hmm.
they will say no solution on the problem.
Right.
So you have to shift the mind, because the mind is the battle zone. So what on the mind is what I tell you. There's some people who will get in the car, there's something tell them, say, oh, go hit somebody or kill somebody. That's why you see folks doing a lot of things, because the mind tell them to do it. So when you see people in that situation, I will bring something that will take the mind out of it. And something like take the mind, like they fighting through like financial problem, and they fighting through like they drinking all day and doing the tell them say things is good.
Shoot, our lights just went out. So you were kind of saying to shift their focus off of the problem, right? If they're too focused on the problem, they're still kind of like high emotion.
Exactly. Yeah. So you have to shift your mind. For instance, if somebody want to kill themselves because why they feel that nobody love them, you talk about love.
Yeah.
When they feel that nobody they want money or something, so we can help you, my partner, my teammate, I can help you. We can carry you to go shopping. We can do this. There is nothing that is impossible. We can help you. So try to make the person to believe and trust in you. Yeah. One of the key words is trust.
Yeah.
So the person will actually say, how can I trust you? Or what will make me to stop what I'm doing? So you say, we have to trust each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so shifting the focus.
Yeah.
And I love how you said the mind is the battle zone.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about that a lot during Mental Health Month and stuff like that. We're kind of day in, day out, hour by hour, like so much is happening in our minds. And I love how you said sometimes that is. Sometimes we have to shift the focus. Sometimes we got to go outside and take a walk. Sometimes we got to take some deep breaths. There's things that we got to do to kind of shift our own focus sometimes too. And so then the last one is just giving them a simple, achievable step.
Right.
How do you go about doing that? How do you know what the right step is, or it's just something small that they can do? How do you do that?
So for each on this note is like when you finish with all those things, because it's like you train about it and you've been going through a lot, you have the experience. Mm-hmm. So every situation you have the experience. So when you're achieving, make sure that they achieve what they want. Mm-hmm. Like for instance, like back home we have a civil crisis. Back then we have the Civil War, and those guys that used to be in the Civil War, is like they want to change. Like just added, like just abuse and things, they want to change. But you have to give them that encouragement to say you can achieve this by what? Taking the drug out of your system. You can achieve it by going to school. So you ask and say, like for instance, what you want to do in life? Oh, I want to be a musician. I want to be this. Okay, after this, I will make sure that you go to school and make sure that things happen.
Yeah.
Then you bring somebody that have the experience and somebody that achieve from there, and you bring the person and say, oh yes, this is what this company or this organization did for me. Yeah. So they did the same thing for me. They can do it for you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. So those small, achievable goals that you can kind of stack on top of each other as you see progress.
Right.
Man, that's so awesome. Well, is there any final things you'd say to our Lube Tech teammates? Because again, we're all going to experience maybe not like huge crisis. Some of us might experience some of those big crises, but every single day we're responding to small crises, whether it's family or work or community or something like that. But anything you do to encourage our teammates?
Yeah, I just want to talk to member of Lube Tech. Whatsoever that you're going through in life is not the end. You just believe in yourself and see how things can be in your life, because it's like this world we're living in is not easy. Even you have money, for sometimes people don't show the love to you. And secondly, we go to work every day and we come home, we stress out. So don't be stressed out. Just everything happens for a reason. Just have a smile on your face and don't stress yourself.
Yeah, I love that. Well, dude, thanks so much for taking the time. I know I know when I first sat down and kind of walked through these things with you, I'm like, yes, I got some strategies for my twin 6-year-olds when they're in the middle of a crisis and stuff like that. So this is so good. Thanks for sharing your expertise and part of your training and your education with our team, because it's awesome. So I appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thanks for joining LubeTech family. We'll see you later.
Yeah.